Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another NFL season 2025-26. And it's Mikey, the sports nut. Here I am doing a sports webcam talking about my two favorite teams, the San Francisco 49ers, and of course, the other team down there in DC, the Washington football team. I might as well call them that because if I call them by the C word, I'll get very upset. And if I call them by the name that I always knew them by before PC people out there got stupid and said, "Oh no, that's offensive to Native American people." So I said, "Okay, well, so we'll just call the Washington football team, but they're still good anyway." MikeySuzeFour live, welcome, welcome, welcome. And Kevin Theme Park Adventures, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you both. Thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. So really, this will just be about maybe a half hour. We'll talk about a few things about sports here. My predictions for the year for both my teams. Will they make the playoffs? Hey, I'm not going to go that far yet. There'll be another video for that. We'll find out when they get closer. But I know they should be able to with my records I'm predicting for both. So we'll see what happens with that. Howdy, Mikey from Roger Blair. Welcome, Roger. Kevin also says, "Hey, Roger Blair." And so Kevin's Theme Park Adventures, MikeySuzeFour Live, and Roger Blair. Thank you, gentlemen, for appearing and being here today. Okay. So let's see. These are my hopeful predictions. I'm going to just give the win-loss records, who I hope from each team to take the team to the next level, to the playoffs, and hopefully to the Super Bowl. But before I start with my Niners, let's go ahead and just start with Washington. We'll go first, and then we'll go with San Francisco. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. So every year I try to make a few predictions myself, and sometimes they don't always work. I'm going to say that's about 80% of the time out of 100%. So I'm not that good at predicting or predictions, but I'm okay. I mean, when I see the teams that get into the playoffs, I usually can pretty much accurately tell you who's going to win the whole thing. Some years I've been wrong. Some years I've been okay. Yeah, I've been correct. I just had I always have a good feeling or a bad feeling when it concerns the Kansas City Chiefs. Hint, hint. You mean the one owned by TS? Yeah, we don't say her name out loud, Anyway, but anyway, with the Washington team and with the 49ers, I mean, both have a real good shot at it this year. Now, the Niners are still stuck at 5 Super Bowl wins with the Dallas Cowgirls. The Cowgirls, yeah. Those criminal cowgirls down south over in Texas. Yeah. Well, the 49ers are stuck with them with 5 bowl, wins. The Steelers, the Steel Gang, curtains for those guys. Yeah. So ever since Roethlisberger left, they're still at 7. And of course, it's 6. I'm sorry. And then the Patriots are still stuck at 6. Yeah. So nobody's reached that 7th peak yet. Now, the Chiefs are getting close, though, to 49er and Cowgirl territory with 4, right? I think they have 4 at this point. So they're getting close. Will they make it there again? I don't think so. There's way too much parity in the NFL this year. A lot of unpredictability, I say. Some of those stronger teams, excuse me, like the Eagles, a couple other people. The Lions have a good shot at it again. They've reinforced a lot of their teams. Heck, even the Arizona Birdies over down there. Yeah, I don't call them the Cardinals anymore. They're just the Birdies. I know what a true red cardinal is, and that's the only thing the tweets and is my mom's messenger sent to us from Arizona up here to Canada to watch in on us all the time. Her secret spies, my mom's secret spies. Yeah, that's a good thing. Kevin says, "Hey, Roger Blair." Roger says, "Hey, Kevin." And it says, "Hey, now, I like TS." Okay, Roger Blair. I'm sorry. She's going to become half owner of the Chiefs. You know that, right? That's okay. I don't have anything personally against her, but hey, when you start buying a sports team, right? You need to get involved. Well, look what she did for the Super Bowl. She after she did a concert, she went across the world just to get there, so she could be there for Travis. Travis Kelsey, her beau, her man. He's like, ooh, he's big. Yeah, TS. Roger, I don't have an issue with her, okay? Don't worry about it. You're cool, man. You're cool. You liked her. Go right ahead. I don't care. That's fine. That's cool. Agreed to disagree? It's all right, buddy. It's okay. I love that you come here and endorse us and patronize and help us out. That is very cool, sir. Anyway, yeah, it's all good. Everyone has what they like. Absolutely, Roger. Absolutely. Okay, so to finish with Washington team, the one person, I always look at the quarterback, and here's why. I don't really go. Okay, I respect players that stay with their teams consistently. Um, People that move on, really, that's really sad. Um, but it's the nature of the business, right? The NFL has people moving from one team to another. It seems like every other season, and it's really kind of sad. Um, so what I do is I just say, hey, I go with the man who's going to lead your team to victory or defeat, ultimately throughout the entire season, and that always is the quarterback, the main man, that runs the offense. you know. Then you got your kicker, right? Your kicker, either field goals or punts or kickoffs. Your kicker is the main man from in my estimation. Okay, this is other people would probably tell you different, but I think the punter kicker is the main man from special teams and anybody who runs special teams. It's very hard, difficult job to get that ball just right, through the uprights. Absolutely. All sorts of conditions can delay that. When it comes down to defense, really for me, the main man has to be the middle linebacker. And we've seen some great ones, right? We've seen Ray Lewis, we've seen J.J. Watt. We've seen some really good guys out there. Um, you know. And I also have to think the safeties have a big part in that, like Ronnie Lott, things like that. Great guys there. So usually it's just like I say, for the defense, the anchor, you've got your middle linebacker up there at the line. But when you're out there in no man's land and you got to stop these wide receivers, the man who runs the safety parts of that is the man. Absolutely, because they got to protect the field. Whole field. Now, if you're in the CFL, that's the Canadian Football League, imagine that you've got 10 more yards added, 5 to each side. So it's possible to have a 100-yard touchdown run or a 100-yard pass done. It has happened. Well, Chris Berman said it himself. He said the closest you get is 99 and a half yards. After that, you have to play in the CFL to get more than that. For a record throw or a record run or whatever it does. You do, right? And of course, I am a big, huge Toronto Argonauts fan now. Well, I adopted them. But see, the thing is, the Argos aren't going to make it this year. So I'm kind of sad, They did great last year, won the Grey Cup over Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Hey, I was happy about that. Damn right, Argos deserve all the championships they get because they're a good team and they have good players and it's good chemistry. Yeah. But not this year. Sorry. Sorry, Toronto fans, Torontonians. Sorry about that. Anyway, but enough about CFL. So getting back to the NFL here, the man I am looking at, of course, is Jaden Daniels for the Washington team. He is the quarterback. He is going to be the starter. This is the man that, like so many other Washington quarterbacks before him, either can run like a gazelle when he's being chased, or he's going to stand in the pocket really well, unless you get mauled and destroyed, like Joe Theismann did that one year. You know, or you could be unpredictable, like Kirk Cousins was, like Gus Frerotte was. And come on, Gus, that was really stupid. If you decide you're gonna run into the upright and go, ooh, and then yeah, that was dumb. Doug Williams, you don't find very many quarterbacks that play for Washington over the years that would eclipse what Doug Williams did for the team. Won the Super Bowl, plus he was African American. I need not say more. I mean, the man was just great. He's my next. I would say, yeah, I would say next to Theismann. Those are my two favorite quarterbacks, Williams and Theismann. Absolutely, over the years that they played so hard. And of course, who could forget Joe Gibbs as the coach? Wow, you know, man won you 3 championships, and the rest of you can't even find one coach that can win you another or at least two more. Come on, Daniel Snyder. I know you're still running the freaking team. Dude, seriously. Should be shot. Anyway, no, you didn't hear me say that. Sorry, YouTube overlords. Okay. I don't condone that. I don't condone violence. Okay, so anyway, I'm hoping that Jaden Daniels can be the leader that he wants to be. He wants to be the leader. He knows this, but he's got to have really comparable people to play under him. That's obvious, And I think Washington has made a few good trades this year, but is it enough to get them to a championship? I don't know. I don't know. Here, let's take my glasses off for now. Okay, so I really don't know. I'll tell you this much. This is my prediction. Okay, now they played 17 games. 17 games. Used to be 16, but now they added an extra one. Don't know why. But hey, you know what? More football, right? Gotta have that. Okay, so my prediction for the Redskins is going to be, let's be generous. Let's go 12-5. I think Jaden can get them to 12 victories. Those 5 losses will probably be really difficult losses. And I hate to say it, but we're going to lose one to the Cowgirls this year, to Dallas. Yeah. So I'm sorry if you're offended, but hey, I'm a Washington fan and a 49er fan. And if there's one thing that I learned about these two teams, they hate Dallas. Oh, yeah. They hate Dallas big time. I don't know. It's just inbred, it's an inherent thing. Yeah, yeah. My dad would tell me about it a lot. My grandpa, before him rested in peace, would tell me a lot about 49er rivalries and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And I always go into it. My cousin, I'll just say his first name, Tony. My cousin Tony and I really get into it every year. Yeah. When Washington and Dallas meet each other, it's like, oil and water, fire and water, the whole thing. It's a whole big determined thing. And of course, I talked to my nephew, Joseph, one of our nephews and nieces, and Joseph is a huge Raiders fan. And now they're in Las Vegas. I'm like, Joe, what are you going to do about Vegas? I mean, are you going to fly up there and go gamble? And oh, by the way, you're going to watch a football game. I guess maybe that's what he should do with his dad, Corey. But do you see the difficulty in that? If you're not a gambler, but you go there to see a football game. Oh, by the way, there's a slot machine right over there. You can go play, sure. Gamble away, do some poker, things like that. Absolutely, yeah. I see a lot of problems with that, but hey, I don't live there, so I can't really tell you. All I know is that Vegas is suffering from the tariffs. Oh, thanks, Trump card. Thank you. Yeah, they're all suffering like we are. Canada even suffers up here too. Mark Carney doesn't help. Believe me, he'll never help. And Doug Ford, enough said. That's for Canadians. Anyway, to get back here, so like I said, I predict that the Washington team will probably limp into the playoffs with a 12-5 record. After that, I can't say anything. I can't predict anything. of whether or not they win the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl, till they actually get there. Then I will have a video in place ready to start and tell you guys what my prediction is for the Super Bowl. Well, for the playoffs and then the Super Bowl, whoever gets in. I have to look at all the teams that get in there. Okay, let's see. Roger says, did they change their name back to the Redskins? I heard talk about it, but I didn't know if any of it was true. Okay, well, you forced my hand. So, Roger, first of all, I don't like the word commanders. Just don't like it. I mean, I tried out for the Navy, and of course, you have to acknowledge there's a commander of the Navy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. I understood. I didn't get a chance to finish the Navy, but I did get a honorable discharge. So I'm fine with that. It's in record. It's there down in the States. I don't know if they have moved back to the Redskins. Remember, at one time, they got rid of the Redskins name because it was PC, because of these Native Americans going, hey, come on now, you know? Yeah, so it's fun. Okay, so it's fine to call the Kansas City team, the football team, the Chiefs. Chiefs obviously being the head of a tribe, okay? It's okay to call them that, right? But then when you're playing baseball and you're in Cleveland and you have to call your team the Guardians instead of the Indians, believe me, one of these days I'm going to go right at these people that are PC and go, look, you're idiots. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, why would you even call them these other teams? Why do that? I mean, do you see the kind of parody there? I mean, in Atlanta, they're still called the Braves. Last time I checked, you know, that's crazy. I mean, come on, Braves, Indians. That's what I mean, they are the ones that settled the land before the Americans did, or before the Brits came over and all that stuff. But you're still calling them the Braves, yeah. But then Cleveland had to change their name. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. It's just makes no sense. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day about sports teams and why they change. Yeah, Roger Blair says I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Thank you, Roger. And I hope Kevin and Mike are following this too. I hope I'm not boring you guys with this sports talk, believe me. But I really love football teams. I really love baseball. I enjoy hockey. But of course, my teams aren't doing well. Probably won't do well this year. But I hope my wife's team does. New Jersey Devils, absolutely. Um, let's see. Basketball, yeah. Well, in basketball, the Torontonians here are getting the tempo. Right. Next WNBA season, we get the tempo. So I'll get to finally go see a WNBA basketball game again. I got to see the Mercury with my wife down in Phoenix. I'm still a big Mercury fan, even though Diana Taurasi's retired. Brittany Griner jumped ship and moved to somebody else. I mean, come on. But we got Tawana Bonner back. Woohoo! So we might have a chance at the playoffs this year. And yes, we might even win the whole thing again. Wouldn't that be great if the Mercury won the whole thing again? And of course, here are the Phoenix Suns sitting there going, "Oh, I'm 0-3 in finals." Oh, but it wasn't our fault. I mean, we had to play the Boston Celtics one year, the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls, and then we had to fight off Giannis Antetokounmpo. I probably mispronounced that. Sorry, Bucks fans. But then, they lost to the Bucks and Giannis. And, of course, his brother, Thanos. Sounds like Thanos. Really weird. Anyway, so, I mean, Suns aren't going anywhere. We know that. So, even though they got their new guy, oh, my God. What is his name again? Oh, yeah. Matt Ishbia. Now, does that sound like a weird owner name for you? Really? Really? For the Sons of Mercury? Please. Yeah, I agree with you, Mikey. Thank you, Kevin. Totally cool. You guys are awesome. And I know Mike, say hi. I know you got your teams in Sweden, I'm sure. The Sweden soccer team is good. The Swedish basketball team, I think, is actually coming up in the world. We're going to have the World Cup of basketball here soon. The Olympics are coming back. So, yeah, there's, the world's a smaller place. It just got much smaller when it came to sports. Yeah. I mean, the Americans and Canadians don't dominate everything, they have other countries that are coming up in the world and really challenging what Americans and Canadians do. Yeah. So it's not just about two countries anymore. Yeah. A lot of other countries. Russia's always been there. We know that. France has been there. We know that. I mentioned Sweden. There's Croatia. There's a lot of other, great teams. I mean, with great sports. But with great sports comes great playing and great responsibility. I added a little bit in there. Did you see that with Spider-Man? Yeah, pretty cool. Okay. So let's finish here. Let's get to my 49ers. Okay. So, in a recap, as I said, the Washington Redskins, there, I had to get that out. Okay. So the Redskins will probably end up 12-5, Jaden Daniels, and I think they'll probably make the playoffs. They'll get in. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Here we go. We're going to get really bold here with the 49ers. Now, Brock Purdy is the man. He is the starting quarterback this year. But guess who's waiting in the wings? Sam Darnold. Right. I think he's still there, unless he got traded again. I don't know. Anyway, Purdy is the man. He's got to do the job this year. Now, he's come close a few times, right? But there's that Patrick Mahomes again for the Chiefs. Ugh. Nightmares, especially that one Super Bowl. Oh, we were so close. And then Patrick goes, and then it's like 25-22 and we lost. There you go. And that was only 3 years ago. The memory's still fresh in my head. Oh, or nightmare, I should say. Anyway, I really like the 49ers' chances this year. I think this is probably their last and best opportunity to go all the way. I really see it. Yeah, we got rid of some people that we could still have. Deebo Samuel for one. We got rid of I forget who it was. One of our defensive guys is gone. I mean, we just lost a few. We lost a few parts, but we gained a few parts. So it kind of balances out in the end. Kind of does. I do predict that my 49ers will win the division this year. NFC West hands down. I don't think Seattle could compete with them. The Cardinals, reluctant here, but I'm saying it. But those flightless, yeah, the Cardinals could do something this year. Like I said, Seattle doesn't have a chance. The Rams, of course, they're always a thorn in our side, correct? Yeah, even though they moved to another city again. So, yeah, so the Rams are a big deal. But like I say, other than maybe a couple of testy games with the Rams and possibly the Cardinals, not with the Seahawks. I don't see the Seagulls. I don't see that happening. I'm looking at a 14-3 record. There, I said it. Where I'm really bold this year. I think the Niners got this thing. They got it in the bag. They have right now, as I said, they have the most, probably their very last and most golden opportunity to go all the way this year. And the only teams that can stop them, again, would probably be the Lions or the Eagles. Maybe the Cowgirls. I don't know. But any of those teams in the NFC are pretty decent, and any of them could stop them. But I don't see it happening. I believe that the 49ers have a truly chemistry team. I mean, they're all together. They're all in it. It's all in right now. This is it. Brock Purdy's got to prove himself this year, or that's over. I mean, the honeymoon will be over. Yeah. Well, you were chosen in the NFL draft as the most irrelevant, right? The very last pick of the 49ers. Look how far you've come. This is your golden opportunity, your chance to shine, Brock, and you go in there and win the whole damn thing and get us number 6. Okay? So we can tie with the Steelers and those guys over in New England, the Pats. Okay. So anyway, like I said, so both my teams should get into the playoffs. After that, like I said, I'll be following them all year, so this will really be the only time you're going to hear me predict this about both teams. But when they get there, then we'll go ahead and we'll do a webcam just one day. I'll do a webcam show completely devoted to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And then I probably could tell you my picks for who's going to win the Super Bowl. I'll go with my two teams first, obviously. But then if I see the other teams that are in there, I'm pretty much probably going to say one of them is going to win it for sure. So, and I'd have to look at the teams when they get to that point. But hey, that's 17 games away from now. For now, I've got my predictions. That's all I've got. And I know that other people are making predictions as well for this NFL 2025-26 season. I know they are because I just saw 5 Points Videos was doing a picking game for tonight. Tonight is the first game of the new season, and that pits the Cowgirls against the Eagles for Thursday night football. And should be interesting. Yeah, we'll see how that game turns out. I usually can tell, and there's 8 people with great likes. Thank you so much. We got 4 people still watching. That's awesome. I gotta say that it's gonna be hard this year. I really, I think I'm probably talking on my butt, about the Niners record prediction, but I don't think so. I have a, what there's a season that a predictor, and I'm just a part-time predictor. Please don't count on me when it comes to Vegas betting or anything like that. I suck. I got to be honest with you, total straight up. I'm terrible. Point differentials and all that. Please, I'm not that way. But there's a year every year. There's one certain year of a season that I have the most awesome thought that I know this team's going to win the whole thing. Now, this is pretty sad. That last time I had that thought was in 1995, about 30 years ago. That was when the Niners did manage to win their 5th Super Bowl under the tutelage of, Steve. So, yeah. And I met him. He's a great guy. The backup quarterback. Yeah, I met Steve. I just call him Steve. But I mean, he was a great guy. And, and he won the Niners the Super Bowl that year. Took apart the San Diego Chargers, which was a good game too. And that was the last time I really felt like the Niners had it all with Steve Young. There it is. Sorry, Steve Young. And I just knew. Like the whole year I knew. I said, oh, they're winning the Super Bowl. My cousin, of course, looking at me, cousin Tony, who's a Dallas fan, diehard, he's looking at me like, oh, Mike, Michael, oh, come on, Mikey, you're, no. We're going to win it. I said, oh, no, you're not. No. Even though they were the team of the 90s, right? They won those, they won a couple titles, whatever, to catch up to us. And I said, oh, but no, come on. No, this is our year. We got a special guy. Have you heard of this guy? Our the have you heard of Deion Sanders, the primetime guy? Oh yeah, we got him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the go cheerleader. The man in the backfield who can run down anybody in the world. Primetime. I said we got primetime. What are you going to do now? This man's he's going to rally the defense every single game. You still have Ronnie Lott. Last time I checked, Ronnie Lott is one of the best safeties in the game, or he was. He's now an announcer. But I mean, you still have that guy. You had Charles, in the linebacker there, Charles Haley, and all these guys, And now it's Steve Young's team. And Steve Young has taken this golden opportunity. This boy from BYU, originally, is taking this opportunity to take the team and reach the next level. And he did. And and of course my cousin Tony comes to me after we won the Super Bowl and trounced the Chargers. He says, Michael, when he says my full name, I know I'm in trouble. But he says, Michael, he says, you were right. I said, did you doubt my word? I mean, the whole season? Did you see what happened? I mean, we had to struggle. We had to fight, just like anybody else. All 32 teams, they all have a chance at it. We know that. A lot of people go at it. But I mean, but for 1 year, I had the strongest feeling I ever had that I knew my Niners were going to win. So it doesn't make sense that 30 years later, I know that Brock Purdy's going to take the Niners to the Super Bowl. That's a pretty bold prediction. But if any indicators are that I said, with my prediction being a record of 14 and 3, yeah, I like my team a lot. I definitely do. I love their chances. But then again, as you know, anything can happen in the NFL. There's a lot of parity. You know, that dreaded parity word. There's a lot of it. So you never know, right? Hey, the Cleveland Browns could win their first Super Bowl. Look at what the Detroit Lions almost did. Yikes. If my 49ers didn't stop them, we're talking about Detroit Lions winning a Super Bowl and ending their Bobby Lane curse. Yeah. But that didn't happen. Thank God. Oh, we know there's a God in heaven, okay? There's the little minor football gods below him. So there's the major God, and then you got the little people down there, that control all the football games and football seasons. Oh yeah. Well, I just call them football angels. They're not gods. They're just angels. So I just call them the football. I call them the sport angels that take care of your teams. That love your team, your particular team that you like, whatever sport it is, any of the four major sports, and the other ones, small ones, and then you know they fight harder, harder. It's a friendly competition in heaven. Angels who love sports. There's that team, ooh, that team. You know, that's what I believe happens. So that's why I say there's a parity in the league. It's kind of funny, kind of embarrassing. Okay, well, anyway, make sure if anybody comes by and you tell them rewatch this video, remember what the predictions I made for this year. The Washington Redskins, I believe, will go 12-5 and make the playoffs. My San Francisco 49ers, I follow two teams every year. My 49ers will go to the playoffs 14-3. So both teams will make it there. Jaden, Brock, good luck. Hope you guys stay healthy. Don't get mushed. Don't get hurt. Don't get injured. Any of that, I say they will not get injured. Okay. There. I knocked on wood and I said, you're not going to get injured. No, no, no. Okay. So good luck to my two teams. And let's see. We'll say a quick prayer here, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, you know what's always in our hearts and how sincere we are whenever we pray for our friends and family that we know here on YouTube and through Facebook and all other uh, social media. As you know, we are praying for both our Jays, Jay in Louisiana, Jason over there in Michigan, and their respective spouses, Leanna and Nikki, that they do well in this life. And Nikki goes and, has a wonderful, peaceful sleep one of these days, Lord, when you're ready to take her. And, you know, also Matt Arnold, we're praying for his friend Bill. He says he won't make it through the end of this week. Well, Lord, we know that you'll also be able to give him a peaceful sleep with no worries, no pain, and just go comfortably and go into your heavenly kingdom, same as Nikki. So that's what we hope for. Also, we're praying for my beautiful wife, Suzanne. I know she's got to go through at least both of her surgeries on her knees, one at a time, and then she's going to get her shoulder looked at. So I'm sure she's going to have something done to her right shoulder as well. So I want to pray special for my wife for that. Also, Larry, we talked to him yesterday. By the way, everybody, 23 likes on MikeySuzeFour channel, 25 likes on Larry's Beer Self Adventures channel that he simulcast with ours. That was fantastic. You folks were just amazing, and I got to tell you, I'm overwhelmed, and I got really emotional last night. I said that to Suzanne. I said, Suzanne, look, we've got some of the most wonderful, loving, supportive people on YouTube and all throughout social media, and 23 people proved it, and for Larry, 25 people, amazing, just simply amazing. Um, Now the next person I want to interview is a secret. I'm going to keep it a secret for a little while, because I don't know when this person is ever available, and I gotta know that I get to him, that I can talk to him because it'll be him. But I gotta get to talk to him, um, for a time that he's available and that I'm available. And I know who it is. I know who it is, but I just have to, you know, find that time. And once we get it, uh, then we'll go ahead and interview him. That'll be our interview with so and so, part three. That'll be our next interview. So yeah, I know who that would be. Let's see. Okay, don't forget. Also, in our prayers, like I said, besides Larry with his problems, and his wonderful wife Diane, and Tyler, and his sister, and the rest, that he has a full recovery, that he turns out well, and that he's able to make his trip next year on Route 66. So that's part of the prayer as well. And of course, my parents. I hope that they're able to make their birthdays this year. I know my mom made her 79th, which is huge. My dad is going to turn 81, so I pray that he makes it that far as well. And all my other immediate family, my brother, my sisters, all their um, daughters and sons, all of our nieces and nephews, including our adopted niece, Charlotte, and everybody else we know. So, with all this, we ask you, Lord, and pray. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So, we're doing all right. We got 8 people liking. Thank you so much. 5 people still watching. That is awesome. Um, you know, my wife always says, leave everything in God's hands. It's a great thing. Larry, who, great interview with him last night. Now, we didn't get much of questions out there, but you guys were just so rampant in the chat. I love that. And I tried to acknowledge everybody. I do that. And then, you know, so Larry always says, always be yourself. That's a great piece of advice. And of course, I always say, uh, always expect the unexpected in life, love, relationships, and anything. And of course, here at MikeySuzeFour, you never know what I'm going to show. You never know when I'll come on again and do an online thing. You know, Jim doesn't have just that. Has the own ownership of. He says you never know what you're going to see. Well, for me, you never know what you'll expect. Always expect the unexpected. That is me, and that's how it's going to stay. So, have fun with that. Okay. So I want to thank Kevin's Theme Park Adventures. I want to thank Roger Blair. And I want to thank Mike Sayha Live for coming on in. Guys, you're awesome. 8 people that hit likes, you're awesome too. 4 people still watching, you're awesome too. Uh, and, we have a lot of good things coming up for this channel. Like I said, we have our normal, Mondays and Tuesdays where we're working on Get Smart and TOS, the original Star Trek. But after I finish 18 on Wednesdays, we're going to go into mysteries. As I promised everybody this year, again, I'm so sorry it's this late in the year I'm doing it. But the mystery shows, the live streams that I'll be doing with special select co-host, to help me, those should be some interesting discussions. I hope that all of you will have some questions about the mysteries that we'll be discussing. Things you might not have known before, you can ask us. I mean, you can ask me. I'm the one who embraces conspiracies and weird stuff like that. I could call myself a modern day, X-Files for sure. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Would I want to be Scully or would I want to be Mulder? I don't know. I don't want to be a girl, so I guess I have to be Mulder. I guess. Anyway. I hope that all of you will get a chance to watch us during the rest of the year and going into the wintertime. And I know that a lot of you do work, so I appreciate you when you do come and you watch us and see us. we all pray that you continue to have your jobs and everything goes well. That's what we hope for. So, with all your families too. So, send our prayers, our love, our support, and everything to all of your families as well. Okay, know that they're loved. Know that your families are prayed over every day. Everybody we know, and we did gain another uh, subscriber to and another member we added to our family. So we have 306. We only need another 44 again, so we get to 350. That's our next goal. And then eventually we will get to that 500. I would love to reach 500 by the end of this year, if that's possible. I would really love that. I know Suzanne would enjoy it too, because then we can sign up for monetization. We can get the required watch hours we need, which I'm getting there. I'm building them up as I'm downloading, uh, you know, media onto all of my 5 playlists. I have 9,750 total videos. hmm Yeah, and in our own realm, in MikeySuzeFour channel, we have over 430 videos of our own that we started from the very beginning 2.5 years ago. Yeah, very proud of that. I'm extremely proud of that. Okay, so as our friend and fellow nerd who passed away some time ago, Mr. Gene Siskel, wonderful man. I loved Siskel and Ebert at the movies. Yes, I even enjoyed the Fat Man's reviews sometimes. I call him the Fat Man. But anyway, he's passed away too, so rest in peace. But of course, Gene always said, and now the aisle's closed. And so thank you guys for being here. As always, you're wonderful. Oh, don't forget, tonight is Gorilla's Random Thoughts. He's doing at, I believe, 9:30 my time Eastern, 6:30 over in the Pacific time zone, and 8:30 in the center of the universe. He's doing his Twilight Zone 4 shows, watch party, discussion, giving our views and our grades on them. And then, of course, remember, no Waltons tomorrow. Uh, he's delayed the Waltons until next Friday because he's got some personal matters to attend to, which is totally fine. But over at Curtis Selby's channel, myself, PvP, Pleasant Valley Picker, and Larry, my brother there at BYA, are all going to be doing episodes of Dark Shadows. And we'll be talking about those episodes. That's going to be later on Friday night. So 10:30 my time. Yeah. So 10:30 my time, 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific. Yeah. So that's on Friday. Then on Saturday, don't forget 5:35 p.m. I'll be doing my weekly nostalgic pod blast as a co-host to my host Chance Bartels, and we have an interview this weekend. So make sure that you come out, watch us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube, watch us on his radio channel there out in Atlanta, Georgia. Call in. He'll give a phone number that you can call into if you want to ask questions over the phone to our guests, our special guests that we'll be interviewing. So make sure you all check that out tomorrow, or not tomorrow, I'm sorry, Saturday at 5:35 p.m. Eastern. Also, I'll be working with, hopefully, with Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf, our niece. She's got, I think she has a podcast on Saturday afternoon starting at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, 1:05 her time in Washington State. And then she'll probably have, hopefully, a regular open panel live stream on Sunday afternoon at the same time, right around 4:05 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check that out. And then, of course, the one last thing to finish out the weekend and the week, Mr. Gorilla will be back. He's going to be doing his Cinema Sunday, where he's going to play A Night to Remember, which is about the Titanic sinking and 46 years after the fact, and another 67 years after it came out. It is still one of the most accurate depictions of the entire Titanic voyage, its one-time voyage, and its one-time sinking, and everything that led up to it. So check it out. Please come and join us on our watch party for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless the UK. And of course, God bless our friend in the UK, Miss Lisa of Travel with Lisa MH. And hopefully, she'll have a wonderful trip over here to be with her boyfriend and to hang out with us. Hopefully, it'll be a lot of fun. I know she'll have a good 4 months here. That's what she's planning for. And she says Toronto is her second home. Canada is her second home. So that's great. I love that. And of course, God bless the rest of the world. Uh, you know, we just have one. So make sure that all of you take care of it. Become stewards of the earth and take care of it. And remember, don't ever, I love saying this, don't ever piss off Mother Nature. Don't do that. That's not good. Not good at all. Not good for any of us, really. So, with all the natural disasters, things happening all over the world. So pray for the world. And of course, peace from MikeySuzeFour. So once again, on behalf of my beautiful wife, Suzanne, who is the managing moderator boss of the chat, and everybody else that works under her, Larry, Charlotte, Connie Cleary, uh, Curtis Selby, uh, Lemon Pie, and the rest, uh, and Jay Aldridge. Um, be respectful. Say hello to them on future live streams or any webcams if you see them. Uh, yeah, just be natural. Just say, hey, how you doing? How are things for you? Things like that. What you guys already do, which is be so kind to one another. We really appreciate that. And look where we're at. We got 9 likes. All I have to do is hit mine. 10 like hype. There we go again. That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And 3 people still watching. All right. And of course, on behalf of our beautiful moon pie over here, laying in her bassinet, and that beautiful, wonderful sister of hers, Deja Vu, over on the floor over there, we want to thank all of you again for being here. Remember, you get a chance to rewatch this so that you know my predictions for my 2 favorite teams. So let's see if those come true at the end of the year when we get to the end of the season and we get into the playoffs and eventually the Super Bowl. So let's hope that helps. Let's hope that this rewatch is a good prognostication of what's going to happen. There, I said that word. Ooh, that's hard. So, all right. So again, I want to thank Mike Sayhawk, Kevin C. Park Adventures, Roger Blair, everybody came here today. You're all important. Remember, you have the blue Rinchi. So remember, if you ever want to go ahead and promote your channel, please do. We both more than encourage it. Please go ahead and do that. Put the link right in there so that people can go ahead and subscribe to your channel. Because remember, the like, the subscribe, the share, and of course the all notifications. And it takes less than a second to subscribe. It's free. And of course, it takes less than a second when you see where it says notify me. Just hit that boop, and it says notification on. And lets you know when I have these, uh, webcams, live streams, podcasts, and sometimes last minute, like today. So again, it's really appreciative of all of you, the gentlemen, that you came out to be here for this. And my beautiful wife, of course. I love you, baby. Okay, so take care, everyone. And we'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you next time on MikeySuzeFour.